Hard Rock Fairy. Welcome to my channel, Fairy Plays, where I play various video games, and I'm going to be doing a world tour today of my forever world. Now, as you can see, I am logged into a Minecraft world here, but the day counter is day 0, and that's because before I give you my the tour of my world, I wanted to just show you what the seed looked like when I first created it. So the world I will be showing you was created on the 2nd of August 2023. This is the exact same seed. The version was slightly different, but we spawned this time in those trees over there. On my version it was somewhere in the middle of this field, and so far it does look very similar to the world that I did I did build in and I did play in. I'm just going to quickly do spectator mode just to show you in a bit more detail where we are. So when I created the world that I will be touring very soon, I created it with the intention purely just to complete Minecraft for the first time, to fight the Ender Dragon for the first time, because I, as a player, I started on console. I started by playing creative mode first, and I wanted a survival world on my gaming PC that was purely about doing the parts of the game that I've never done before. So doing a lot of things that I'd not done in Minecraft for the first time, and that was the whole purpose of the world. The seed that we got ended up being an amazing seed because, as you can see, just when I spawn in, I don't have to go too far and see there is a mountain range over here with a flower forest which is dispersed between the mountain range, and right behind us there is a swamp. I go a little bit further behind us, I shouldn't have to go too far, and you will see that there is a jungle. There you go. And I do believe, if I get my bearings correctly, I do believe that there is a cherry grove biome just beyond that direction, over in that direction somewhere behind a village. So we ended up getting really lucky with the biomes near spawn, and I ended up settling over here. So this is what the area looked like before, and I'm going to try and get myself in a position that this transitions relatively well, but this is what the world looked like before. Take a good look around, and this is what the world looks like now. There we go. And if I put F1 back on, you can see we're on day 1399. So after the moon sets and the sun rises, we'll be on day 1400 in this world, and this is my world so far. Take a quick look around. So yep, some builds I've been working on over here. There's an unfinished ice bridge over there. I'm just going to settle down, and then I'll take you through the world in a bit more detail. This is my main base. I'm just going to take that off for a second. Right, let me go sleep. Let me go sleep, and we'll do this again. But yeah, welcome to my world. And there we go, day 1400 in this world. And just to, I've already explained that this world was to do a lot of things that I'd never done before in Minecraft, such as beat the Ender Dragon, but I also wanted to experiment a lot with building, which I have done in a lot of ways. As you can see, like, I've got loads of different block palettes going on. There is zero consistency to this world, and I think the thing that I love about this world is that this is the first video I've made on this world. This world was never intended for content creation. None of these builds was ever built with a thumbnail in mind, or generating clicks for a video in mind. This is just stuff that I wanted to build in the moment. I did set myself a challenge as well. I am of the opinion that villager trading kind of ruins the progression of the game in Minecraft. I'm gonna just turn the music down a little bit. Let's try that again. Yeah, I am of the opinion that villager trading kind of ruins the progression in Minecraft. So I wanted to basically get all the way to the dragon fight without using any villager trading, and I actually did really well. So the approach I took for this world was I actually used a vanilla tweak data pack to put classic loot fishing back into the game, and then this is basically where I spent most of the first 100 days in this world, was actually at my AFK fish farm. And I have so many fish, so many fish, and so many enchanted rods and bows. In fact, every chest in here is full with enchanted books. And yeah, I understand why this was nerfed, because this is also kind of OP. But this build was my first build on this world. It was kind of the starter base, and it's been through a few iterations. So when I first built it, like, none of this dock was attached to it, none of this market area was attached to it. It was just this little, I guess, this little fishing hut. And over time, I eventually moved all of my things out. This wall at one point in time was just full, from floor to ceiling, with chests and barrels everywhere. And eventually I outgrew this space very quickly, which is why that build exists over there. But if I can't take these maps off, because it will update the maps, they need locking in place. But this is what the world looks like here at around about, I would say, 30-40 days in. That was where my crops used to be. That was just, that's still the same build that I will show you soon, and that used to be more crops, which is now gone. And then this was around about the dragon fight time. So I would say around about 150 days, 175 days, kind of around that ballpark. But you can see from this picture, I'd already started by building out the deck area and what is now my main storage area. So yeah, this is what it looks like now, and just bear in mind that, again, this video was never intended for YouTube. I wasn't really building anything here to be pleasing to anybody else but me. But one of the things I wanted to do was, rather than have a massive storage room or trading hall, is have like specific builds for specific trading and like storing certain things. So most of my storage is in here, but I have like a lot of my fish. I'm lying, this did have fish in it. I can't even get in here anymore. But yeah, this little fishing area, there should be loads of fishing here. What did I do with all my fish? I must have moved all my fish. But yeah, I wanted to make this look like it had a purpose. So after I moved out, it was no longer my starter base, and it became a fish and chip shop, which is what this is supposed to be. And I guess the idea, or the law in my head, is that this is a dock. I guess new adventurers or travelers would come here, and this would be the first thing that they would see when they arrived at my base, and that they could grab themselves a snack from after their long voyage straight away, and then browse some of the market stalls. I haven't moved a lot of items into these chests yet. They are purely for decorative purposes right now, but I really love the different little decorations on the stalls I did, and these little kind of gated areas to kind of show that you are entering into this area and leaving this area. And obviously we do have creeper protection built in. It comes with full creeper security, part of the product. I really enjoyed playing with mud bricks and the clay pots as part of this build. I just think they really help blend different palettes together. And between you and me, I spent far too long on detailing underneath here because it bothered me that it was just kind of like plain dirt. And I really liked the fencing in here. So I made it kind of look like a swamp and put some lighting under there. So from no matter where you stood down here, it kind of looked like a fully finished build. And then we've got some, I guess, utility blocks out here that are pretty useful. Then this became my main base. These doors are to stop mobs getting in, like villagers and creepers and things like that for now. But yeah, I've kind of got some generic wood storage here. I have a lot of the newer blocks here, so moss, dripstone, cherry, the mud stuff. I think all the bamboo stuff and honey stuff is over here. I have potions, mob drops, food, some random shulkers there. These are all kind of my stone natural blocks over here, and these are your more well, some dirt. These are your more, I guess, other blocks. These are still natural blocks, but like the dyed varieties, I guess, of blocks in there. And this has served me quite well for a single player world up until this point. I'm just at the point now, it's why the shulker's here, where I really need to start rethinking storage, because I'm getting pretty full up in a lot of the boxes I do have. Upstairs we have some, I guess, some extra bits of gear here and there. I do have loads of iron somewhere as well, I think up top, and then there's still more space, I guess, up here I could try to use. I was gonna put my enchanting area up here at some point, but to be honest, I keep out of habit going back to my starter base to enchant. So yeah, that's just something to bear in mind. And then I would say around about the time I beat the dragon is when I let myself play with villagers. So the next build before that was for mob drops, was this horrible looking mob grinder up here, with an AFK spot, and I think it does pretty well even now. Like, I've not used it since like the first 100 days of this world, but it still kind of passively produces quite a lot of stuff for me, without me having to go at AFK, which is pretty cool. That is because I'm in the area quite a lot. This is a Logical Geek Boy villager breeder. Now, I must add that my intention is to knock that down, the mob grinder, someday, and probably the villager breeder too. And I've kind of always had it in my head that this villager breeder was temporary, up until recently, that I started to think I might rebuild this over in the mountains, because that area just behind me, with this tower that is kind of ugly and needs reworking, is going to be like where most of the villagers are going to live. So it would just be easier if I kind of tore this down and maybe rebuilt it over there at some point, which is why this is quite an ugly build. But these villagers came from a desert over in that direction, near where the stronghold is in this world. And yeah, for a while they lived in a damp little cave over there. So I built this, and this, you've probably seen this before, but this will, if I just power this off a second, all I need to do is come under here, push this button, it dispenses a minecart with my villager on, and then I can do trades and stuff if I wanted here before sending it off wherever I need to go. But what I do most of the time is just send them and then do the trades at the location. But yeah, that's pretty much the villager breeder. Like I said, that's a Logical Geek Boy design, that's just had some extra bits added to it, that's all. So you've probably seen this in 1,000 different worlds, in 1,000 different tours. Potentially the same with this iron farm. So this used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks wide, and I had to extend it by 1 block. So this, I want to say this is a J-Wisp iron farm from a long time ago that worked perfectly. It was such a small size and such a good farm to build early game. Once you had villagers. And then I can't remember which update it was, but it was after the cherry biome was added. They updated the mobs, so when they can basically hit up through blocks, and that made this farm not work anymore. So I had to move everything back by 1 block and then put the extra slab up here and the blocks here to stop the zombie from basically being able to convert these into zombie villagers. So yeah, it was an update in Minecraft broke this design, and I'm not sure if that got patched back out or not, and I can put this back to how it used to be. But yeah, this basically had to have some bug fixes on this farm at some point. But this does a lot of iron. In fact, I had to build this thing here, which I basically just load this up with iron from here, and it converts it to blocks for me. And this was basically me trying to learn how to use auto crafters for the first time. In this little build here, I call it a build. It's more of a function than anything else, but yeah, this is what it does. Again, I probably need to tear this down and rebuild this somewhere else, because it's not pretty to look at. It's just there for function. I realised it's dark again, so I'm just quickly gonna go over to my old starter base and sleep before we continue the tour. As if I spent a whole day just talking bubbles about my world already. Yeah, so moving on. I believe, yeah, that's kind of all the starter builds. As soon as I had the villager breeder set up and the iron farm set up, then that was kind of like go time for us, and that's when I started to really work on the area and farm. So a lot of these buildings popped up. I had to block this door because there was a villager in here, I think. Kept escaping. There he is. He keeps... Yeah, I was trying to keep that pleb alive. He keeps getting himself into trouble. But this was the first villager build I built, and its pure purpose is to convert iron from there into emeralds. So yeah, these were the guys. I used them to unlock gear as well, but it was mainly to get emeralds. So this is kind of like my first little emerald farm. There's a lot of things I like about this build and a lot of things I hate about this build. I like the overall colour palette of the build, and I like the shape of the build. I do not like the overhang that I did. I think the overhang is ugly, and I should really look at replacing this dark oak with a different block at some point, or just getting rid of it altogether. And then I really just didn't blend this build into the surroundings very well or at all. I keep telling myself I'm going to come back and rework this area completely all the time, because this area looks really good now. And then this, like, you just come through this walkway and it's like, oh, holy crap, what is going on? This sucks. I hate this build. I was trying to do a diagonal build and it just went terribly, and it kind of works well for kind of getting the villagers in really easily, but it is kind of confusing which, like, this villager could take either workstation, so it's kind of confusing which villager belongs to which workstation. It's awful to navigate inside here. It's really clunky and awkward. But yeah, this is where my toolsmiths live. This is where we come to get tools or emeralds if we need them. But yeah, again, another build where I really like, I guess, the block palette, and I like the shape on the outside. I think it looked cool on the outside. But there's some decisions there that, like, if I was going to do this again, I'd probably change out the mossy cobble for, or just get rid of that as an overhang altogether, and maybe just make it a few blocks wider, because inside it is awful to navigate. Yeah, then probably should show you the, over here, we have this little animal pen area, which has been here since quite early on. We've got some little piggies in here, and all the mobs you would expect. We've got sheep, cows, a small collection of horses and donkeys. We have chickens over on this side as well. That is the most peskiest chicken. Yeah, I think my egg collector is... Oh, holy egg! We have so many eggs. And we have some new chickens. Cool. But yeah, this, for the longest time, housed all of my... Oops. This housed all of my animals. Try that again. This housed all my animals for a while. And yeah, I really quite like this build. To be honest, it's basic, simple, does the job. The palette's okay. It's missing a roof, but my roofs never typically come out that great anyway. So I mean, it's not the end of the world. What did I put here? Stables. Apparently, I'm going to build more stables here at some point. But yeah, this was another early build that I did. And then after those builds, I think it was these farms I started working on next. So first we have my beautiful red barn, which isn't really a barn. It looks like a barn, but inside we have a okay-ish sugarcane farm. Yeah, it's not the best. It's really good early game, but late game it just doesn't produce enough. This bamboo farm had an extension, a storage extension recently, which is why the floor's out. But it just fills up so fast. So I actually built a second one of these, which auto-crafts them into bamboo logs. And this is the world's worst kelp farm. Do not build this. This sucks. Apparently when I built this, I was having a really low IQ moment. Kind of forgot that that water makes things flow up, so there was no way of getting any of this. So this is my makeshift collection system. Basically, these will break and then kind of float to the top and kind of go with the flow into the hoppers, and it works. But oh my god, like, I don't think I've seen a worse farm than this ever in Minecraft before. Maybe there is a worse farm than this, but I think this is a good contender for the worst farm ever in terms of it sucks. But yeah, apologies for the floor being missing there. But I did caveat this with this was never meant to be a perfect world. This is just meant for me. This was just something I think I saw something on Pinterest that looked really cute, and I tried to replicate it but change out the wheels, and then I kind of added this little section at the front, which I guess in my head is where someone would sit, and there would be like a horse that you attach to these fences, and it's like a horse-drawn carriage, but it just serves as a really convenient place to sleep when I find myself building in the dark. Yeah, that's a cute little wagon thing I built there. And then I wanted to basically do some pixel art, so I made this cow for absolutely no reason other than I wanted to try doing a pixel art cow, and I made it a cube, and then it bothered me that this existed but didn't serve a purpose, so inside there is one of these little nano cow crushers where you can just come in, excuse me, and you hit this button up here, and it makes them bob, and you feed them up, and they all start to die from the entity cramming in the game. Yeah, a lot of temporary blocks that keep getting to place. So yeah, Cow Crusher Cow. This is a automatic wool farm. I really like this build. I just don't like the roof. I think I need to go in and try and gradient the roof and maybe add some little alcovey type bits or windows or something, because it's just too much blue. Oh, oops, fixed it. Yeah, and in here we've got some sheets, some colourful rainbow sheets, and they're all naked because I'm automatically stripping them of their wool. Some of these are getting full already. Oh dear. But yeah, this build has been, I've had this build a while, like if you look at how full this is. But yeah, this is all possible thanks to the iron farm. I could do all the dispensers and shears that I needed for this, thanks to the iron farm. And yeah, I quite like it as a build. It's just the roof could do with a bit of a rework. I did have all my trees just dotted about everywhere at some point, and then I tried to organise that a little bit better. So these are little areas for growing different tree types. Unfortunately, mangrove and pale oak don't really have dedicated areas as of yet, but every other wood type does have kind of a dedicated area that's kind of decorated with that wood type block. Again, this is something that I feel like people used to do quite a lot back in the day in Minecraft, and you don't really see that much anymore. It's very sort of like 2014 Minecraft type approach to playing the game. But yeah, I've got some spare cherry ones growing, and the mangrove is just one of them that it's a nightmare to grow. So I just have some, like, I guess, spare sugarcane and mangrove just growing over here. And there is a dirt path that's well hidden here as well, that goes all the way to the mainland where spawn is, and it's just covered in mangrove waiting for me to chop down. And yeah, that's the tour of the trees. What else have we got? So next to the farm we have this, which has also been through a few different iterations because I kept running out of storage, so I added extra storage, and then I had to rework the melons so that they auto craft into melon blocks now, and then this was kind of like awkward to do, the actual redstone, which is why I kind of had an extension added to the front here. And this again is kind of an ugly build, if I'm being honest. Not the best, but it serves a purpose, it does a job. Yeah, it's just your standard, I guess, automatic pumpkin melon farm. Don't know. Yeah, I can go in with free cam and kind of show you inside what it looks like. But yeah, it's just pumpkins, melons, minecart rails, you know, that sort of thing. Let's go back. What else do we have? It is getting a little dark now, so I will go sleep. Dexter says hello. Yeah, so that covers these two bills here, and then just in front of here, I need to trade all the pumpkins and melons. So we have some farmers in here, and I was actually in the process of trading a whole bunch of pumpkins with these guys before I started recording this video. Cute little pumpkin patch there, but not as cute as the one I will show you over here. So this area was done a bit later in the game, and it started with this pumpkin melon patch over here, which looks, I quite like this. I'm quite proud of this build. It's simple, it's cute, It, you know, it kind of hides how ugly this is. Behind it, I like it. I like it. It's got these little scarecrow guys in, which are adorable. I think this guy's my favorite because he's got the little moss with the grass on top, and it just looks like he's got like hair, crazy hair that's sticking through his hat. And yeah, it just feels really. I feel like this one adds a touch of whimsy to the area, and I'm just here for it. I just love it. These crop farms as well. Again, I just feel like they're kind of cute. Obviously not the best for in terms of output. Like a lot of space is being used up by the path in the middle. But I just really wanted like a nice, cute area to come and collect crops when I needed them. And then obviously I built these farms, these manual farms, and the manual wheat farms over here, and then decided to try automated versions of them. I'll come back to that automated version. But this windmill, just take a look at the windmill. I like the windmill. I think, yes, the build needs to be a bit bigger for the blades. Like the blades feel really big. In proportion to the rest of the build. So I should have made this build, I think, at least 5 to 9 blocks taller. But I do really just like the poppies and the wheat, and I just think this looks great, especially with the mud and the dripstone wall going all the way around it and closing it in. I think we have a donkey. Yep, we have a donkey here who's just chilling in the back. And I believe that a pig lives inside. Yeah, a pig lives inside my windmill. I can't remember how or why he's here, but he's here and he's here to stay. So, yeah, I never did the interior of this. This is something I've been meaning to come back to. But this is, I guess, an area that I'm still working on, as this is probably the most recent second most recent build, I guess, in this world. So at the bottom here we've got automatic carrot and potatoes being collected, and I tried to do wheat at the top, and then I made a very low IQ move of forgetting that these guys craft it into bread. So what I've actually got instead of an automatic wheat farm is an automatic bread farm now, which I guess is cool. But yeah, what I'm gonna have to do before I finish the outside of this build is actually I will have to unalive the 2 plebs in the top floor and replace them with new plebs, and also replace this with more carrots and more potatoes. I think a beetroot might work, but yeah, wheat isn't going to work. I need to do the rail cart thing underneath it, so that'll be another build probably further up the field. But yeah, the plan is to keep working on. The plan is to kind of keep working on this area into farmland, and this district. This is going to be like a little farming district, and I'm probably going to put more houses and maybe a little farming village up here and expand. I do not have enough farming villages, so I think I'm gonna at some point in the future work on this area more and make this a place exclusively for doing loads of farmer related trades specifically. I want to do this build last, so we're going to come to this build last. And that's pretty much, I guess, most things in my main base area. You've probably been screaming at me in the order that I've been doing this tour. I wanted to try to go in an order of when I built things in this world. So I'm kind of doing the most recent things last. And I will kind of caveat older stuff versus newer stuff. So something that is more of a newer build is the automatic honey farm. I say newer, this has filled up multiple times now and I've got overflow. And one of the things I had to do recently was fix this because it started eating its own honey bottles, so I had to go in and replace all the glass bottles at some point. This wool track is just temporary to get villagers up into this area. So this, we're moving up to probably one of the new areas in this world. So these are little bills for different villagers per trade. So at some point, all the villagers, apart from farmers, the farmers, the butchers, the ironsmiths, toolsmiths, and fishermen will be up here. So farmers, butchers, weaponsmiths, toolsmiths, and fishermen will all be down there. Everybody else will be up here. This build is going to get reworked completely. It's far from finished, but this whole door frame is getting reworked, and I'm going to make this much taller. I'm thinking like twice the height of what it currently is. It's just too small. It just looks... I just don't like it. It looks too... This needs smoothing out, and it needs to go much higher. So I'm thinking, yeah, way up here it needs to go. So yeah, ignore this build. But I was trying to work with gradients a bit more here, and colour a little bit more, and play with the new copper blocks, and it just didn't really go the way I kind of envisioned it in my head. But truth be told, the purpose of this build was just to have a few clerics to trade with, so I could get redstone and lapis from these guys, and glowstone as well. So right now it's serving a purpose. At some point, the roof, all of this above the wooden pillars, is going to get like torn down and then rebuilt, but much higher. We're going to go see how high we go with this. But opposite here is our cartographer building, which is a travelers guild, and this is where we come to trade with our cartographers for things like glass or maps if we need them. This guy, I think, just got loose and decided to live here at some point, which again is why there's a trapdoor. Oh my gosh. Oh no, he got loose from here and I couldn't replace him. But yeah, there is a trapdoor here to stop zombies or whatever getting in. Just in case, because there are quite a few areas near here that I haven't quite lit up yet. This build here, I love this build. I know it looks a bit strange, I know, but that's what I love about it. I think it's so quirky and weird, and yes, the back is a bit boring, but there's a wall. I'm gonna put a wall behind there anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I love how asymmetrical this is. I love how wacky the colours are. It's very bright, it's very bold. I do need to figure out what I'm going to do with this underneath part. I was thinking something similar to what I did for underneath here, where I kind of decorated the underneath and lit it up. I was thinking about doing the same thing here as well. So yeah, decorating under here would be... Oh, Rogue Enderman. Hi. Yeah, decorating under here would be pretty cool. But yeah, if I come out of free camp mode and take you inside, yeah, I just like this build. It's nice. Oh, I can't use that one. I forgot. But yeah, look, we've got all of the book trades here. It took me hours. It took me so long to get every single trade locked in with a villager. We have excess books here stored in the chisel bookshelves. We've got an anvil here which is on its way out. Yeah, we've got like a lovely little, some extra storage as well here, some extra books here which is some mending books here. We've got some extra books for armor here. And upstairs we've just got more, and I do believe, with the exception of the newer enchants for things like the mace, we have, or I guess spear, we have all the main in-game enchants locked in here. And to be honest, I don't really want to change this build. I don't want to add any extensions to it. So if we need to lock in villagers for extra trades, we've got a rogue fisherman here. Then yeah, we can build a separate build for those guys. But like I said, up until the trial chambers were added to the game, it's got all the core villager trades you need in here. But yeah, I actually really like this build. It might not be everybody's cup of tea. You might hate it, which is it's perfectly valid, and that's fine. I love it because it's weird and wonderful, and yeah, it's great. And then this is the most recent build. I wanted to do the second to last one last. And I'll show you my mining area here as well because that's a work in progress. Just before we do that. But yeah, this is where all the masons live. So I finished. I genuinely can't remember when I started this. So truth be told, I had about a 9-month gap break from this world before logging back on. So I think like the last time I played this world was June last year before logging on again this weekend. And I just love. I just love that I logged on again. It just reminded me how much I love this world, how much love and passion and time has gone into this world. But yeah, my masons live here. And again, I love this build. For me, this is a pretty much finished build. Yeah, I could probably add a bit more inside in terms of an interior decoration. And I think, yeah, I'd probably add some more bits up here. But in terms of the function, it's done. I will kind of caveat that this area is because the vision is that I have a wall around this entire area if I go back in free count. But I kind of want to treat this as kind of like the entrance from the main area to this area, and then a wall all the way around this mountain range that's going to box going around what this will be. Around here, and it's kind of I want to make sure it's a villager safe area. Everything's lit up, nothing can get in and cause them any harm. Right now that's not the case. I can get zombies, creepers just kind of sneak up on me while I'm building, and because a lot of this mountain range is not actually lit up yet. So in the future I will, once this is all walled off and I've kind of got all the builds in and villages where I want them to be, I will go through this whole area and put in loads of more like lighting decoration. I want to put armor stands and animals in all of these little outside sections. So like for example here I want to put an armor stand of a guy selling pots to people, and yeah, the last like villager trading build I need in here was this mason one, I believe. I am gonna build a cathedral here at the end, which is kind of going to be like a church for all villagers, and I'm going to put some other little random builds. I'm going to put maybe 2 or 3 along this wall, and maybe 1 over here, or just like some other build in this section, or maybe like a nice centerpiece. I don't know yet. But there's going to be like spare villagers that are just going to be like free roaming. They're not going to be locked in place like these villagers, but that's the plan for this area. I have no idea what to do with this. This is kind of like this is just me outlining a shape to put in a big cathedral. I'm just trying to get like the proportions right for now. I do think it's going to be mostly quartz and some grayish block. It won't be this chiseled block, but at some point, yeah, I will be this will be an actual build. I'm just figuring out how far back I want to go here, because I'm gonna have to maybe dig out some of this mountain and then kind of reblend it back in. But yeah, I think this is gonna be like a chapel, like maybe a chapel or a temple, but I wanted to maybe play with some like stained glass and colored glass with this build, but that is something for another day, 100%. And that kind of pretty much wraps up this area. There's no point me showing you there's no point me showing you the stronghold. I should probably dip over to a couple more places though before I go to the last build. So this ice bridge again is going to get torn down and redone because it's too wide right now. But I was just playing with, well, ice boats and like I guess a slime trampoline here, which is really fun. But I realized that this was too wide and I didn't want to keep going with it being too wide, so I need to narrow it down. And then the idea is at some point in the future we can ice boat to this excuse me, to this flower farm, and then we can also continue to, I have a couple of AFK farms here. So we've got over on the right here is a AFK slime farm, which I believe, like, I didn't, like, I got inspired by Mumbo Jumbo, but I didn't follow any tutorials for this. Like, I just saw what he did and kind of figured it out. I don't think I did it took me a few iterations of the iron golem bit in the middle to get right, because the iron golem kept dying to the slime at one point. But after reworking that a couple of times, this works great. All I have to do is stand up in that box and the slimes come, the iron golem kills them, and then voila, loads of green shiny balls. This I did follow a tutorial for. This is a creeper farm. Although it did explode at some point, which is what this patch is for. But down here, I do have a couple of frogs, which you might have seen on my to-do list. That I do have a plan to basically make builds for both frogs and axolotls at some point in the future. I just don't know when or where I'm going to do those yet. That freaked me out. These guys are so loud, so loud. But yeah, this works great. I can't remember what tutorial I used for that, but I did follow a tutorial. I just can't remember which creator I followed a tutorial for. I do have a spider farm as well, that is next to a lush cave in the jungle over near where the stronghold is over there. But I don't think it's worth showing you that. I don't even think it's worth showing you the nether as well. I do have like a ice boat tunnel in the nether that goes from my nether portal to the stronghold. Actually, yeah, no, I'll show you. We'll show you. I'm just gonna. This video is like it's like 45 minutes, nearly an hour of just talking bubbles. But I'll try and clean it up in editing. Editor Fairy, if you could add some like maybe music and cut out some of the rambling or something, that'd be great. Thanks. But yeah, I won't spend too long in here. I just have to show. We got really lucky with the nether spawn. So this is the OG nether portal I built on this world. The first nether portal I built took me here. Yes, I've built a wall around it now, and this is the ice boat road that takes you all the way to the stronghold area. But I quickly have to just show you that you just got to envision that I spawned this portal, started kind of walking around here, I was like spotting a few things, and then just kind of came up here and spotted a stronghold. Spotted a nether fortress right there. So we got really lucky in this world with the spawn that we literally built a portal and only had to walk this far to get a fortress, which I thought was one of the reasons why I think I decided to keep this seed for the purpose of beating the dragon for the first time, was because I knew that I'd got really lucky with the nether spawn, and that once I'd kind of got the gear, I could blast out the blaze rod gathering part fairly quickly. So yeah, I've not really built anything in the nether other than the ice road and some safety barriers. That's it. And last but not least is the dusty dog. So since I started this world, the pale oak biome was added, and they added trial chambers. So there is no trial chambers near spawn in this world. I would have to start again. I have to go quite far away to get a trial chamber, and I've been quite far away in both directions, and I still haven't found a pale oak biome yet, or the pale forest biome, whatever it's called. Yeah, but luckily villager wandering traders exist, so luckily I have the trees, the vines, and the moss thanks to wandering traders, and this build I still need to work on some of the, I guess, outside elements and add some light into it, and I think I'm gonna add like a front window here, so it's not quite finished yet, but it's nearly done. And this is a Dusty Dog Inn, and I love this build. So the purpose of this build is a brewing build. So this has got all my little brewing stations in it. It's got a book here that kind of tells you about, this is a Dusty Dog, and it just kind of tells you about the place. Adds a bit of whimsy, adds a bit of lore. This makes me so sad as well. So you might have seen a sign about a gravestone outside about Pineapple. Pineapple died. Pineapple was a zombie villager that lived on my fishing dock for the longest time. But he died. So I need to edit this out. This just made me really sad opening this. Oh dear. But yeah, this is a really weird way of writing basic potion recipes. I put them all in a book, but I tried to make it kind of whimsy, like instruction book here. But yeah, that's and then we've got all the ingredients we need. And the idea is that like the travelers would come and this is where they would stay if they weren't, you know, they weren't permanent residents. There's like a bar up here. And I love this interior. I'm so proud of this interior. I think it looks beautiful up here. I think it looks like an actual, like if this was a bar that I walked into in real life and I came upstairs and I was like, oh, there's beams and lights and so much art and candles, and I'd be like, and this blaze powder, I'd be like, yeah, I'm staying. I'm here for a good time. But yeah, I just love this build. I just really tried to play more with shape and colour and incorporate some of the newer blocks into the game. This has got a nice little private lounge area, some extra beds in here, and this cute cozy little hidden bedroom cubby up here. This is like the VIP penthouse suite type situation. Yeah, I'm really proud of this build. I know I need to do a bit of work on the outside, but I love it. And I think the reason I love it so much is because I kind of, part of me, yes, I built it for the potions, but also in memory of our 2 family dogs which passed away in 2003. So the year that I started this world, we lost 2 family dogs in the space of a month, and that just kind of broke my heart. And I never have pets in game in Minecraft that and name them after my real life pets. I never do that. I know a lot of people do that and enjoy that. But I wanted like a build to remember them by. So this is the Dusty Dog, but the innkeeper is Hamish, because I was reading Sunrise on the Reaping at the time. So yeah, Hamish the Dusty Dog. But this is in loving memory of Bud and Gerard, our 2 family dogs who passed away sadly late in 2023. But yeah, this is my world. I love it. I know it's not perfect. There's things that need to be fixed, like what is that trapdoor doing? Like why yeah, my flying techniques, those need to be fixed. But yeah, there's a lot of unfinished projects, but I still love it anyway. Like I'm really proud of this world. I think I've done a really good job at you know, creating a really good job at just playing the game here and just creating some really beautiful. Some of the builds I do think are genuinely really beautiful without sounding too, you know, egotistical. Like this one that I'm in right now. Yes, I need to add some lights to it and rework the doors at some point when the area is like fully secure. but I love the palette. I love that it's asymmetric. It's got that whimsy vibe to it. Should probably add a door to that balcony. Yeah, not perfect, but I still like them. I still appreciate them. Yeah, there's I think a lot of love has gone into this world, and I don't know. I hope it shows. I hope it came across in my builds, and I hope you like the attention to detail in some places and the complete lack of attention to detail in other places. And I hope in some way you found this relatable. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log off. I'm gonna pay my respects to Pineapple, who sadly passed away. It was May last year. Oh dear. Yep. I'm gonna. Yep. I'm gonna maybe see if I can get some shaders and get some cinematic shots on the go with the flashback mod and edit this into a lovely tour video for you guys. But if you have watched this far, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'm the Hard Rock Fairy. And yeah, just wherever you are in the world, I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I hope you experience something to be joyful about today. Take care. All the best, and all that jazz. Fairy out. Bye.